Okay, so this is the form that I use to record the information that I get during my first interview, or, I don't call it an interview, I guess I call it just a call to get to know the person better. This is my first, my first interaction with them. I might take, 5 minutes. It might take longer. I try not to take more than 10 minutes, just because the first conversation is basically just to learn, where they're coming from and what their goals are. So I basically just ask them, well, of course, before I start asking questions, I write down their name, because I already have, by the time that I'm calling them, and I already, of course, have the name, email, cell phone. Sometimes I might ask them in the form that I use to for them to ask for information. I might ask them if they want to text, and a little bit about their education, a little bit about their experience. But they're gonna share. Some people do share a lot, and but the majority of them, they'll just probably share, like anything that has to do with insurance. But I do want to learn more than just what they've done in insurance. But anyway, so I'll write down all the information that I already have, and I'll just ask something like, hey, I mean, just want to learn a little bit about you, about your life story, and just, yeah, tell me what you're doing, what you're looking for, and and a little bit about your goals and what you're trying to accomplish, and just let them talk. Let them talk and start, making them feel comfortable. It's important to, I guess, you know, it doesn't come always natural when I find someone that doesn't have the same energy that I have. But you know, so I have to force myself to slow down a little bit, because I personally can be like super fast in and I just ask one question after another, and I don't want to intimidate them, of course. Or sometimes the opposite happens. I've found people that have like double, triple my, the speed of the energy that they have, and I have to kind of like, mirror them, right? So it's important to always try to mirror them, and be on kind of like a similar level of energy. When we're talking to them. But anyways, they'll probably talk about their experience, and it's important. And the way I use this form is just to guide my conversation, to know that I have to go back to the actual information, because sometimes, when we connect, and I always try to find something that we are that we have in common. So the conversation can go to, like, oh goodness, to places where I wasn't even thinking about talking to. But this form would always help me to like go back to what I need to know. So I do want to know during that conversation. I do want to learn, of course, about their experience, what they've done before the insurance business, whatever they've done in customer service. I want to learn more about that. Whatever they've done in sales, I want to learn more about that, because that's the most important, part of information for me to assess if they're going to be a good candidate. Um, and the employment, the employment that they have, what they're trying to accomplish, where are they, like what are they doing if they're unemployed, if they're trying to get into the insurance business just because they need extra income, or they were there, if they're already experienced. I want to learn, what is their goal, what do they see themselves doing. So sometimes I'll go into the income, and some other times, I probably won't, if I don't feel like it's a good question to ask, if I don't want to embarrass anybody, or or make the conversation awkward. So anyways, if they are experienced in insurance, I will ask, hey, what did you do? Did you do Medicare, annuities, final expense? So I want to find out if they've done any of those. If they're bilingual, of course. Sometimes I would not like ask, unless, got to be careful with that, because because sometimes people, even when they have Hispanic last names, they might not be bilingual, and they might get a little bit offended if we ask them. But just be creative, and if you're connecting with them, um, I would say something like, "Oh, hablas español." So of course I talk to them in Spanish, and I just switch you know, to Spanish to see how good Spanish they talk. I mean, they can speak. But anyways, so this is full time, part time. A lot of people don't even know what they want. So if they don't know, just listen to them, and you'll figure out. Just make your notes at the end of the conversation. I don't write down all the notes during the conversation. Sometimes I actually do all of this after I'm done with the conversation, because you want to make sure that you're really, coming across genuine, you're really connecting with them. And if you're, writing all these notes, it might distract you from responding to what they're saying. So, anyways, if they talk about leads, what is, because that's one of the main topics when we're talking about insurance. So what is the situation? What are they? How are they getting the leads? That's an important piece of information that we need. Or have they worked as a 1099 or as a W-2? What are they expecting? Um, so the training, management, recruiting. Okay, have they been leaders in the past? Even if they're not experienced in insurance, we definitely want to attract people that have been in leadership positions in the past, because they will learn the business, and they'll do great with us, because the opportunity is there. So they just have to see the opportunity. And so it's important to find out if they have done, if they have worked in leadership positions in the past. So what's their why? I mean, why is just basically what motivates them. Is it money? Is it family? Is it really helping people? Is What's their why? And many times you'll just find out in just in conversation. At the end of the conversation, you'll know, because they will point out, of course, what's important to them and what they're looking for. And that's how you will find out the qualities, what you see in them. Because I do like to write it down, because sometimes, like, if I have to go back, because people do come back, sometimes they go look for other jobs. And since I stay in touch with them, I try, to stay in touch with them. And I'm trying to do better at emailing them constantly, at least once a week. So once they feel like, you know what, I think I should go back and explore this opportunity, they will come back. And sometimes I forget who they are or what they're looking for. So it's important for me to write down and point out what their qualities are, what their challenges, why are they struggling on, why are they looking for another opportunity. And the follow-up call, that's just basically where I write, when's the next time that I'm going to be calling them, and notes, whatever I think it's important to remember about them, I would write down there. And then I just tell them, I mean, hey, I'll send you an email. Let me just share with you information about the assurance group, of what we have to offer. And please go into the websites. I'm going to send you a couple of websites, and please just explore a little bit into, look into that. And let me know right away once you've gone through it. And then we'll connect. And sometimes I will connect through the phone, or if I feel like this is a good candidate, I will try to make the appointment right there. Like, if you feel like you want to spend more time with them, and that this is a good candidate, you want to make the appointment right away. So just say, how long do you think you will take? Do you have time this afternoon? Let's talk this afternoon. Okay. Or if it's late, I would say something like, what about tomorrow? Do you have anything going on in the morning? Okay, so yeah, we'll just reconnect in the morning. Just make sure that you go through the websites. Yeah, around 10 o'clock. So I will make the appointment right there to follow up. If I feel like this person might not be the greatest candidate, and I might not make the appointment right there, probably will test, their interest level after couple of days, 2 days, if they didn't respond, because I will always say something like, at the end of the email, I will say something like, "Let me know once you're done." So I will give them the. I will send them a message of like, you need to follow up with me, right? So that's when where I'm testing how drive, how driven they are, and how motivated they are as well. So of course, that's going to be up to you and how you feel like the conversation went. So yeah, I hope these help, and just let me know if you have any questions.